Hey, what's up everybody? It's your boy Commitment of Patience, aka Trunky, back again with a new video. So today I'll be doing like a new series and a small one, like similar to Hero for 2. I think like the series will not pass 10 episodes. I don't know. So yeah. So a new series, it will be called My Giant Crush. So let's get started. So before I start this episode, please follow me on my Instagram, join my Discord server, and like you will see some information about beautifulhalo, our sponsor. If you're interested in buying some merch, so read the description to find more. So yeah, now we're gonna start. So we're gonna start from like Mount Lady point of view. I think her name is takiyama. So now, this has been the worst day of my life. I've only been a pro for a few months and nothing has gone right. First I got sued out of causing slight property damage to my work. Can this thing get any worse? So point of view ended. As Yu was making her way to her boyfriend for the dinner, she was excited. The Yu boyfriend was none other than Nichiya Shinji, also known as Kamui Wood, who has ranked number 7. Yu then said, "Hey babe, sorry I'm late. I had to stay back for a bit because of the incident." Then Shinji said, "Listen Yu, we need to talk." Then Yu said, "What is it?" Then Shinji said, "I think it's best we break up." Yu then said, "Did I do something wrong?" Then Shinji said, "No, I just don't think we're compatible. I'm sorry." As Yu left was heartbroken. She thought everything was going well when she stepped outside of the restaurant and said, "What else could go wrong?" After taking a couple of steps, one of her shoes heel snapped off. Things weren't going well for her. She was near a little park and leaned against a stone bench. Yu was completely upset. Everything she had was starting to fall apart. She began to think maybe the hero's business wasn't for her. She had tears fall from her face. It was as if the universe hated her. But little did she know that her life would change for the better. So now, Izuku point of view. Man, training with All Might and Gran Torino isn't easy. I'm the one who asked to get more training to get better handle of One for All. Ever since mom moved overseas with my dad, she left the apartment in my name. They both sent me enough money to pay rent and buy groceries, but to be safe, I picked up the part-time job after school, and one time off I trained with All Might and Gran Torino. I began to think about what I'd make for dinner until my train of thought is broken by someone crying. So point of view ended. As Izuku approached the sound of someone crying, he saw a blonde-haired girl woman leaning against the cement bench. Izuku then said, "Excuse me miss, are you okay?" As Yu turned around, she tried to clean up her tears as fast as possible, but was too late. Izuku pulled out his handkerchief. Then Izuku said, "Here, look like you could use this." Then Yu said, "Thank you." Izuku then said, "I'm Izuku Midoriya. Are you okay?" Then Yu said, "Nice to meet you Midoriya. I'm Yu Takiyama. And to be honest, I'm not okay. Things haven't been going well at work. I just got dumped and my shoe has broken heel." Then Izuku said, "Well, Takiyama-san, would you like me to walk you home? It wouldn't be any trouble at all." Then you said, "Well, okay, thanks. I live at the Daguba village apartment." Izuku then said, "Did you say Daguba village?" You then said, "Yes, I did. Is there any issue?" Izuku then said, "No, to be honest, I also live there. I live in room 244. You then said, "I recently moved into room 243. Izuku then said, "Well, isn't this a small world? Are you able to walk?" As you tried to stand up and walked, the unstable balance between her shoes caused her to almost fall. Luckily, Izuku caught her in time. Izuku then said, If you can't walk, climb on my back and I'll carry you, he said with his like trademark smile. You could only blush. She was like confused as to how a guy a bit younger than her could make her blush. She like did what he said and climbed on his back, but to her surprise, she felt every bit of muscles he had. As he wrapped his arm around her legs to prevent her from falling, only took 10 minutes to reach their destination. When they got to the like second floor, Izuku recently placed gently placed you in front of her door and said good night. As he walked toward his apartment, he heard a loud rumbling. As he turned around, you had a deep red blush of embarrassment. Izuku turned around and walked back toward her. Then Izuku said, "Takiyama-san, are you hungry?" You then said, "Yes, I didn't get a chance to eat." Then Izuku said, "Then would you like to have a dinner with me? I mean, it's leftover, but I'm sure it's better than going hungry." Then you said, "Thanks, I'd like that." The two went into like Izuku's apartment and had dinner. You was comfortable as if she knew him for a long time. You then said, "Midoriya, are you sure it's okay for me to be here? Won't your parents be home any minute?" Izuku then said, "I'll leave alone, Takiyama-san. So there won't be a problem. Here you go." Izuku had given her some curry and rice. The moment she tasted the food, it had amazing flavor as if cooked by a professional chef. Izuku then said, "Is it to your liking?" You then said, "This tastes amazing. Where did you learn to cook like this?" Izuku then said, "Well, I actually had to learn when my mother told me she was going overseas. I did the best I could after failure and countless try. This was the result." You was amazed that Izuku was living on his own and was able to sustain himself with an actual food, not having to constantly eat frozen food. Izuku then said, "Sorry, Takiyama, when we meet you said things weren't going well in your life." Then you said, "That's right, I got reprimanded at work. My boyfriend dumped me and my shoe has broken here." Izuku then said, "If you don't mind me saying, things may not go well at work. Keep your heads up and stay positive. Second, if your boyfriend dumped you, forget about him. He probably didn't deserve the time and love you wasted on him. Third, I have some glue to fix your shoe." After dinner, Izuku fixed Yu's shoe and she decided it was time for her to go. The only problem was she enjoyed being around Izuku. You wanted to hang out with him again. She worked up the courage to ask him right when she stood in front of the exit. Then you said, "Hey Midoriya, would you like to do this again sometimes?" She was afraid of rejection, but this seemed like a chance she wasn't going to let slip by. Izuku then said, "Sure, Takiyama-san, I'd like that. To be honest, food is better when it's shared with somebody else." She then hugged Izuku for giving her this chance. It was also the beginning for her life to change for the better. So and also by the way to inform you, so in this new series Mount Lady is around 20 years old and Izuku is 17 years old. So yeah, so the following day after Izuku had invited you to his home on the his way to school, he had a peep in his step. His friend noticed this immediately the moment he walked into class. So before anyone could ask him any questions in regards to why he was happy, the school bell rang and class was now in session. Through the whole class day, many noticed the small change that Izuku was going through. For example, his mumbling habit wasn't very frequent. Second, he was being a bit more social, and lastly, when a girl asked him a question, he wouldn't stutter. Many students and teachers were beginning to question this change, but were glad to see Izuku coming out of his shell. The only thing or person on Izuku's mind was Yu Takiyama, the beauty who Izuku met the night before. So, somewhere else. Takiyama, also known as Monthly, had gone into work the following day and followed Izuku's advice about keeping her heads up high. Many at her workplace saw her and thought she looked happier than before. Everyone also heard that Kamu had broken up with her. You could hear the female sidekick talking trash behind her back, but she couldn't care less because she thought about Izuku the whole day. So, back to UA. It was Heroic 1-1, last class of the day, when All Might announced that they will be working on two team battle to see how far each of them improved in combat. The only condition was that no quirk users was allowed. Everyone who wasn't accustomed to or used to fight without quirk were a bit worried. So teams were drawn random. Izuku got paired with Kirishima. Izuku knew they could probably win when All Might announced their opponents Zero and Bakugo. He didn't seem phased. Then Kirishima said, "Let's show them how manly we are." And Izuku fist bumped Kirishima as a giant ring appeared. That's when Izuku asked All Might a question. "All Might, can we use any fight style?" All Might then said, "Anything goes, keep it clean, no punching below the belt. Remember, this is training. Also, to win, you must pin both members of the opposite team." Izuku then said, "So, elimination tag battle." All Might then said, "Absolutely, now, get ready to fight." Izuku turned around and was ready to fight Sasuke. While he was disappointed that quirks were forbidden in this match, he was overconfident in winning the fight. Izuku began to move in a steady rhythm. Many outside who watched the first group were surprised that Izuku didn't look afraid to fight Bakugo. So the moment the fight began, imagine every combo, most good combo that Izuku executed has always tracked Bakugo, which left him a little to no room to tag out. Many were surprised to see Izuku perform this well against Bakugo. As Izuku kicked Bakugo in his corner, Zero tagged him self, and Izuku kicked him in the jaw and tagged out when he wasn't looking. Kirishima was finally in the fight and was doing some serious damage without his quirk. Many were surprised to see the team of Izuku being able to beat Zero and Katsuki in a fight without quirks. When Kirishima had landed a punch on Zeto's temple, it was good night Zero. Seeing that Katsuki was not in condition to fight after Izuku dealt with him in the beginning, it was declared that Team Midoriya won. Both Kirishima and Izuku were screaming like men who had conquered the rival nation. Many were caught off guard with Izuku newfound confidence, but they thought change was good for him. Once school ended, Izuku headed toward his part-time job at a restaurant called the Pen. He worked for a few hours, then Izuku was about to set out to train with All Might and Gran Torino when he received the text. All Might said, "Young Midoriya, I'm sorry for the short notice, but there is no training today. Tomorrow Saturday will be all day session to rest up tonight." So Izuku then typed to him, "Alright All Might, thanks for letting me know ahead of time. I'll see you tomorrow." Izuku walked to a grocery store close to where he lived all day in order to pick up an ingredient for dinner. He bought pasta, chicken, fajita, Alfredo sauce. As he was about to pay, new item for overseas was being put into a stock. So as Izuku walked up to the store employee, he asked a question in regards to the new products that was being put in stock. Then Izuku said, "Excuse me, what can you tell me about this new item?" The store clerk said, "We just got this shipment and this drink is from Mexico. It's a non-alcoholic beverage. If you like to taste before you buy, you can have a sample." As Izuku took a sip of a sample they had on the table, he enjoyed the taste and picked up 6 packs. Izuku went to pay, and once he had everything, he made his way and began to prepare dinner. Now, being home, Izuku put the soda in the fridge and began to prepare the meal. He first cooked the chicken, when began to boil water for the pasta. When the chicken was done, Izuku began to prepare the sauce. After he made it the sauce to his liking, sorry about that, he began to pour the sauce into the pasta. Izuku was finally done with dinner. Just as he was about to serve himself a plate, there was a knock on his door. As Izuku went to see who it was, when he opened the door, it was none other than Yu, and she had a box from the bakery. Izuku then said, "Oh hey Yu," and you said, "Oh hey Midoriya, it just got off work and bought a cake, would you like to share?" Izuku then said, "Sure, you know I just made dinner, care to join me? We can share the cake for dessert." As Izuku let her, she joined him for dinner and they talked about their days. Yu was surprised that Izuku made poutine Alfredo. After enjoying dinner, they waited a bit to enjoy an ice cream cake. After enjoying the dessert that you brought over, Izuku had asked her something. Izuku then said, "Hey you, can I ask you something?" Then you said, "Sure, you just did, but what were you gonna ask?" Izuku then said, "Well, would you like to join me for dinner from now on?" You that moment you practically lunged at Izuku and hugged him with all her strength because she was glad to be able to spend time with him. You then said, "How about next time I bring couple movies and we can watch them?" Izuku then said, "Sure, sound like a plan. I'm going to be busy tomorrow morning and afternoon, but I'll probably be free at night." As you was leaving, the two were making plans for tomorrow. Then you remembered she was patrolling morning and afternoon. Then you said, "I work 2 shifts tomorrow, but I'm free for dinner." Izuku then said, "Great, I'll see you tomorrow night." You then said, "It's a date." She said, and she gave Izuku another hug and went her to her apartment, only to realize what she said. And the second she walked into her place, Izuku on the other hand was rather than super tomato god after hearing you say it was a date. So I hope you enjoyed this first part, and tell me if it's good or not, and tell me if you want me to continue it. And also it's short, it might be 7 episodes, 6 episodes, I don't know. So yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this episode. Stay home, stay safe, wash your hands, spend the most time you can spend with your family, most precious people, like girlfriend, fiance, wife, I don't know. And the same go to the girls that's watching me. Thank you for the support you've been giving me for this year. And yeah, as I always say, don't like the video, and if you only enjoyed it, then like the video, and please don't forget to subscribe and press the notification bell. See you next video. Peace out. Bye bye.